Hello guys and welcome back to another UCO fantasy preparation video for the upcoming 2025-2026 season. Today we're going to discuss the best goalkeepers for the upcoming season for every price range that you can have. This is a mini series starting with the goalkeepers and ending to the forwards, and we're going to discuss also defenders and midfielders in those four-episode series. Firstly, we start with the backline of the goalkeepers. This is going to be the shortest of the bunch as most teams have one goalkeeper, and most of the teams don't have that much of a point to discuss because the keepers are not going to enter our sides. We're going to split the team, the goalkeeper discussion, of course, into three sections: premiums, mid-priced, cheap. Premiums will be 6 million, mid-price will be 5 to 5.5, and cheap will be everything below 5 million euro to start the season. Starting with the 6 million keepers, we're going to discuss them. What they bring, why they're so expensive, and what we can see from there. And then we're going to go and discuss the other keepers. We're not going to discuss backup keepers, etc., because when they become starting keepers, if the starting keeper is out, then they will be popular. But for now, I think they're out of discussion. Starting with the first keeper, and that is Jan Zomer. I think that he is probably the best 6 million keeper to start the season with. Struggling Ajax, Slavia Praha, Union, and Kairat are the teams that he is facing, and I think that this is a brilliant start of the season for him. I like him. I like him a lot. I can see myself picking him for the first four fixtures, and he's facing only opponents from pot 1 and pot 3 and pot 4. Sorry. Those are the easier pots, so Jan Zomer makes the most sense when picking one of the premium assets. Moving down to Donnarumma, he's the new Manchester City keeper. I think he's starting over Trafford, but until we see it confirmed, I will be not picking Donnarumma. He's a great shot stopper, but not very good with distributing the ball. Then moving into Thibaut Courtois, he is a solid keeper, but I think he's too expensive. The fixture run to start the season with Marseille and Kairat for pot 3 and pot 4 is good, but then Juve and Liverpool make their way immediately. The pot 4 opposition that they have in the second part is Monaco. It's not an easy team. Pot 3 is Olympiacos. Away, it's once again not an easy side, so I would honestly not spend so much money on Thibaut Courtois. Alisson Becker, the Liverpool keeper, starting with pot 2 to pot 1 fixtures. And the second part of the season, to be fair, for Liverpool looks better, especially after Inter Milan. I think that they can have their way. Their pot 2 oppositions are not that bad. If you ask me, pot 4 is Galatasaray, a tough team. Overall, a good run, but I prefer their defense over their keeper. Then moving into Jan Oblak, he's too expensive for the form that Atleti are in. Of course, pot 4 is Union and then it's Galatasaray. Bordeaux Limit and PSV are from pot 3. It would have been way worse for them. But to be fair, they got the short straw against Arsenal from the pot 2 opposition. So Jan Oblak is an avoid for me. And Manuel Neuer, Bayern Munich keeper, I think that everyone from their defense is cheaper than Manuel Neuer. So I would be staying clear out of Manuel Neuer to begin the season, even though he has Pafos and Bruges in the first couple of fixtures. Bruges for a pot 2 opposition is a very nice fixture. But still, I would argue that having the pot 1 fixtures in the first 4, it's not inviting to spend 6 million on a keeper. So on the short term pick, I think that Zomer is the best choice. If Donnarumma gets the starting nod and it's confirmed he's good from City, and probably that will be where my interest ends with the premium keepers. The only one that I'm looking at the moment is Jan Zomer, and I think he is a good investment for your team if you're looking to spend the premium money in defense. Then moving into the defensive to the 5.5 keepers and the 5 million, we have several options here to discuss. Let's go and discuss them player by player. First, the 5.5 keeper of David Raya. He's a keeper that I'm going for. He has a good start of the season. Their pot 2 and pot 3 oppositions are good for them. And then he has Inter as a pot 1 opposition, of course. But at the end of the day, I think it's not that difficult to play against them, because Inter are not amazingly good in defensive department, but Bruges and Kairat after that. I think Arsenal throughout the tournament is going to be a great team to own players from. Moving then into the other 5.5 keeper, he's on a complete avoid because they've bought Garcia. That is going to be their starting keeper, so Szczesny, just avoid him. Moving into the 5 million section, I think that we can discuss it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 keepers there. So 16, 18 of the keepers so far are beyond 5 million. So that's a lot. But that means that 18 of the keepers are not, which is quite surprising if you ask me. But let's start discussing them. Kobel, great keeper in general, but with the way that their defense is priced, with most of them being 4.5 and Anton being 4 million, I think Kobel is going to be just a player that I would personally not go and take a look at. Simon Mignolet is a keeper that played well last season, but pot 1 oppositions are awful. Pot 4, sorry, is awful. So yeah, avoiding Bruges in general. Rui Silva from Sporting, okay keeper, okay fixture run to begin the season with. I know that Napoli and Marseille are probably two of the toughest pot 3, but still not facing anyone from pot 1 in the first couple of fixtures is inviting for you to pick players from their team. Ter Stegen, another keeper that I would be avoiding, as I don't believe he's going to be a starter from their team. Then it's Vicario, I think one of the better options to go for. Their pot positions are okayish. They have a strong run throughout the season, and I think that you can rely on Vicario for the whole group stage if you don't want to activate any chips. So yeah, I quite like picking a Vicario for my team, and he's by far the best 5 million option so far that I've seen. Sakir from Galatasaray, I would be avoiding that expensive keeper. I don't think it's worth it. Nick Pope, another interesting keeper, but every defender from their team is at the same price, and I think that we can... Is it the same price? Just let me check something, or I'm speaking gibberish. I think they were all 5 million. No, they're all 4.5, sorry. Yeah, so spending 5 million to do that, it's not going to be working for Pope. Yeah, those 5 million are too much in my opinion. Unai Simon, Atletico Bilbao keeper, the starting keeper from Spain. I would be avoiding him, sadly, because I don't think that Bilbao are that good defensively. Rob Sanchez, an interesting choice, but when you have two 4.5 starting center backs, it's a little bit tricky to pick any players from that team. Chelsea have an okay fixture run, especially to start after Bayern Munich. It's Benfica, Ajax and Karabakh. Benfica, it's not easy, but it's still a pot 2 and it's at home for Chelsea, so I can see them picking a clean sheet. Matchday 5 is awful, but after that, once again, not too bad to consider picking players from them. Flecken, no thank you, 5 million, it's too much for me. So basically, if we go and increase it to 5.5, we have Raya that I like. We have Vicario, and we have Sanchez. Only 3 keepers that I've liked so far from those mid-price budget, which is saying a lot, by the way. So I like 4 keepers out of the 18 we've seen. Zomer, Raya, Sanchez, and Vicario are the keepers that I would be considering. Even though Sanchez is probably not so, Vicario, Raya, and Zomer are my 3 best options so far. So that speaks a lot that if you are not aiming for a particular keeper, you can just keep it safe and not pick an expensive keeper at all and proceed with a cheaper option. Now, speaking about cheaper options, we have some really nice keepers. Starting firstly with Trubin, the Benfica keeper. Karabakh first fixture, Chelsea, Newcastle and Leverkusen. It doesn't look that easy on paper, but it doesn't look that hard, if you ask me. Yeah, Karabakh is not a good team. Then Chelsea, Newcastle, Leverkusen, 2 away fixtures in England. Benfica have historically been good. Leverkusen, we don't know up until match day 4 in 5th of November. That's like 2 months away. What will be their situation? So discussing only first couple of fixtures, Karabakh and Chelsea then in the 30th of September looks a little bit difficult if you ask me. But yeah, Karabakh and Chelsea an okay start here. Karneski, a keeper that I like to start the season with. Of course, PSG, Bruges, Slavia Praha and Marseille not easy. PSG in particular is going to be hard, but this will be the weakest PSG that they can face. Honestly, I don't expect a clean sheet there, but to be fair, PSG I quite like as an offensive team. Yeah, Karneski is in my team, but that might change depending on what I decide to do. But for now, the rotating pair of Karneski and Raya are in goal. My starting keeper will be Raya always, but I just have Karneski for a backup option, whatever happens with Raya, if he delivers or not. Sorry about that. Chevalier, the starting keeper for PSG. Come on. This is a robbery, but they are facing pot 1 and pot 2 oppositions in the first couple of fixtures, and then their pot 3 and pot 4 are awful. So yeah, quite hesitant to go Chevalier because I don't expect a lot of clean sheets. I'm going with with Hakimi because I expect some attacking returns from him, but that's it. Di Gregorio, Juve, starting with Dortmund, not that easy of a fixture. Villarreal, Real Madrid, yeah, I would be avoiding him to start the season. Then we have Kovar from PSV. Good keeper to start, especially Union and Leverkusen. I think it's an interesting. Olympiacos away, it's going to be tough, I suspect, but for now, it's not a bad start of the season for him. And then moving into Hradeki, the Monaco keeper. I quite like their run. Bodio, Spurs, Bruges, Pafos, Galatasaray. The tough fixtures, apart from City and Spurs, are at the end. So, yeah, I quite prefer that. Ortega, no go. They have two keepers in front of him. Then we have Jorbik from Bayern, no go. Sorry. Then we have Safonov, no go. Then we have Martinez with Zomer in the team, no go. Lunin, the same. Kyon, the same, with Hradeki being there. Rulli, the Marseille keeper, they have a bad run to start the season with. Their run improves as times goes by, and if we skip match day 7, they have a good run. So for now, Rulli is out of the equation. Kuchowski, Karabakh keeper, really not interested. Tsouakis, really not interested with Arsenal and Barca on the horizon. Stanek, the Slavia Praha keeper, not a good team to consider. Kinski, sadly, not playing. Ilmaz, not playing. This is a keeper that I'm interested though in. Juan Garcia, that's the Barca starting keeper. I quite like him, to be fair. He's an option. Barca are not amazing defensively, but for 4.5 you're getting a very, very cheap way into their defense, especially if you can rotate around. Then we go with Zarutsky, not interested, sorry. Then we go with Drius, not playing. Mamardashvili, not playing. Musso, not playing. Shimbare, even if he plays, who is picking the Union keeper? Probably no one. Passivier, oh no, sorry. Haikin, Bodio, not interested. Passivier, Ajax, they have a bad run to start the season with. Ramsdale, not playing for now. Mikael from Pafos, not interested in Pafos, probably the weakest team in the tournament. Kepa, not interested. Shrepen, not interested. Perin, not interested for now. And we're in the... Oh no, Shrepen, sorry. He's the 4 million keeper from Union that plays. Yeah, I made a mistake here. If you're looking for a 4 million keeper, but it's not good, Shrepen is your guy. But I don't think you should be going there. Then we have Mayer, nope. Vlašević, nope. This guy, Smolearnas, nope. Pinsoglio, Juve, nope. De Luis, no. Marin, no. Yeah. Rossi, Kuisten, Arts, Markovic, Virginia. The keeper that I care for 4 million is a lot of 4 million keepers, by the way. The first keeper I care about is Meret. This is a keeper I care about. He plays in Napoli under Conte. I can see myself picking him. First fixture not optimal. Second also PSV and Frankfurt a little bit easier. Kutarski is another keeper that I care about. I think he is a good keeper, especially having Leverkusen and Karabakh. I can see myself picking Kutarski to just play in my team. Like Leverkusen and Karabakh are poor. I don't know how good Copenhagen are, but Copenhagen, so let's find a Dortmund, or do they face Spurs? Okay. Let me just check something. Which pot are they from? So Copenhagen are pot 4, so they're considered a pretty weak side, but why not? And finally, the keeper that I'm looking at is... Wait a second, I want to find his name without wasting your time. I think it was this guy, Luis Jr. Let me just check it. I'll just do a quick check. Returning back, it's this guy Junior. Yes, Luis Jr. is the starting keeper from their team. So yeah, that is the player that I'm looking for. The best keepers, Meret and Junior, at that price range. And at 4.5, you have Chevalier, you have... let me just go again. You have Chevalier, you have Trubin, you have Karneski, you have Di Gregorio, you have Hradecki, and you have Garcia that I like. Yes, those are the keepers. So I like 10 keepers in general. I will try to find the best solution possible for my team, but honestly, I'm a fan of the keepers. The best keepers for me are Zomar or Raya to start the season and just pick a backup for them. So yeah, I quite like those moves. I want to hear your opinion about it and what you think about the keepers. Have I missed someone or not? Tomorrow will be a little bit different because I will be going probably a split once again for firstly premiums, then non-premium defenders, and then when we get to the cheap defenders, I will go team by team in order to point out good teams where you can invest instead of spending so much time. But yeah, premium defenders, you know them, you will stack it up, and we will continue that way with midfielders and forwards. Once again, if you enjoy the content and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 5k. I'm very far away. There is my free mini league down in the description. If you want, you can go watch my mini league videos where I explain the community league, the Discord league, and the premium league, how you can enter and how you can join. So all of that is explained there, and you'll be fighting for different prizes. Once again, thanks so much for watching. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.